In this video, we're going to take a look at the Pro Limiter plugin from Avid. So this is like a lot of other software limiters in that it has two main knobs, threshold and ceiling. So the first thing I normally do is set my ceiling, and this is the volume level over which your music or audio cannot pass, all right? And so a limiter is sometimes called a brick wall limiter because it has a very high ratio, usually like 100 to 1. So it's a pretty safe bet that not much is going to cross that ceiling, okay? So I'm going to set my ceiling to -1. There are different schools of thought to this. Some people say -0.3, -0.5, but you can pick the ceiling that's right for you. I'm just picking -1 because I don't need this to be screaming loud. This is like a funky, not exactly acoustic genre, but it's not like a heavy genre. And so I don't need it to be as loud as like a commercial for furniture or something. So I'm setting it to -1, and then I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to bring my threshold down slowly until I get some more volume, I get some brightness, but I don't want it to distort the signal, the song.
A superstition ain't the way. Hey, very superstitious. Wash your face and hair.
There we go. So let's bypass that and listen to the difference.
A superstition ain't the way.
It's a subtle difference. It's a little bit brighter. I'm not sure I'm 100% satisfied with what it's doing to the snare drum. So I'll probably revisit that snare drum at the track level to see if there's something I can adjust to make it friendlier for this limiter. But that's kind of the general method. Let's look at some of these other knobs here. The release time is similar to any other compressor release. How long it takes the volume level to recover after it goes under the threshold. I have it set to auto release because I have this on my submix master track. So it's doing the whole mix. And so this will automatically detect and set the release time based on the program material. We have this character knob, which, I haven't really used and maybe I should try. According to the manual, it adds some soft saturation without gain to the signal, without clipping or anything. So you can try that. And then this is a very important section actually here, the graph and these numbers, they sort of go together. This is your LUFS meter. So LUFS stands for loudness units full scale. And this is a volume measurement that is used by streaming companies, like Netflix and Spotify and Apple Music and Hulu and everything on the internet uses this. This is relatively new in the world of production within the last few years. And so if you ever were to look up the loudness wars and read up on the history of compression and how things got louder and louder, the introduction of the LUFS integrated scale here is what has really seemed to end those loudness wars. So you can look up the different LUFS values for different streaming sites. I think some of them are like -12 or -15. And then target your music to those LUFS. Now, it's an integrated measurement. So what that means is to get the true LUFS value, you have to play the song start to finish, right? Because it's a time-based measurement. It goes over time. It's not a momentary measurement, all right? We have short-term LUFS right here. We have a true peak, which is whatever you play, like what's the loudest part of that. And we have a range. What is the dynamic range in loudness units? I'm not 100% sure how loudness units translates to decibels, but there's probably a way to look that up. And then the main number you want to look at is this integrated number for the entire song.
Very superstitious. writings on the wall.
So there you have it. After the entire song is played, we have a final LUFS value of negative 13.3. And if you look at the Spotify LUFS value, it's at negative 14. So this is just a shade over that. So if we wanted to put this on Spotify, we might want to find a way to bring the volume down just a little bit more. Because if you submit tracks that don't conform to their volume standards, they will force the tracks to, and that can result in some unpredictable tonal shifts and volume problems in your music. But this is the limiter. There are other limiters out there. The limiter I typically use if I'm doing like a project is, something like the L1 or the L2. So those are my go-to from Waves. But certainly they all work pretty much the same. And the great thing about the Pro limiter and Maxim, another limiter, is that they come stock with Pro Tools. So if you have Pro Tools, you already have them in your arsenal.